Hi, Poojan. So, welcome to this wonderful session. Um, I think we can straightforward go to the question. So, I have recently see your Google Cloud certification. It's really amazing to know such great efforts that you have kept for passing such huge certification. Okay, so what was the moment like? I will start from the basics. Like, what was the moment when you first considered pursuing a career in cloud? And is there anything or anyone who actually inspired you to start this cloud journey?
Yeah, thank you for having me over this conversation. Answering your question, I think I started cloud as just for exploring the domain. Back in my college, I still remember I was playing around with different technologies, with different domains, because I had no fixed area of interest back then to in which I should professionally pursue. Right, so I just started learning what is cloud and how the things work around, and afterwards I think I have never looked back and I just jumped right into it. But yeah, it all started with just testing and trial and error stuff. But since I'm enjoying it, I took the decision to professionally take it into as a career.
Cool. What are the prerequisites for doing those associate cloud engineer certifications? So, is there any prerequisite or anyone can take that course?
Well, based on Google, it's not a prerequisite, but I personally have this belief not to directly attempt any certification without some hands-on experience. So at least 6 8 months of hands-on experience or exploration of the particular cloud would help you, and it will make the exam basically easier. So it shouldn't be like you first clear the certification and then you learn the things. It should be otherwise. So I just started learning the cloud, Google Cloud, and I referred some of the YouTube videos free, and I did some hands-on work. I did some practical projects. I implemented it, and after, as I felt comfortable to pursue the examination, I just prepared a few prepared for a few days and appeared for the exam, and fortunately I passed as well.
So, it was a straightforward, no, the way to achieve or you want to pursue a certification. I think most of the people or most of the learners, even they do like, they first start with learning for the certification. So, they learn cloud by going to all this prerequisite and all those stuff. So, it was little, kind of different stuff what you did. You first learn professionally how to implement all those cloud related activities, and then you started preparing for certification. That's really great. So that is what the certification is meant for, right? So it was really good. And what is the passing score and how difficult it is while taking that exam? Any tips for the user?
This associate certification exam is, I think, around 70% is passing score, and it's typically based MCQ based exam. So you get multiple choice question. Regarding the difficulty, as I have said that I've worked with GCP back then, so it was a moderate for me. But sometimes you get deceived from all these MCQ because you think all of the answers are nearly the same, but just a small word playing, so they are just jumbling a few words in between. So yeah, difficulty was moderate, but tips I think for the aspirants would be just learn and implement. Don't directly do it for the sake of doing the certification. So if you learn the things, if the fundamentals are crystal clear in your mind, it would be a cherry, it would be a piece of cake for you. So the examination would be.
It's a great advice, really great advice. And what about the hands-on learnings, with how to scale up in those cloud career? So what is this hands-on learning is all about? What you're thinking about right now? So can you tell me a little about that?
Yes, absolutely. So we have tutorials all around. The videos are there, but only watching or reading some online documents won't help unless and until one encounter real world problems or errors. Right. So hands-on learning is aiming at using or playing with GCP or whatever cloud provider or whatever skill you are learning, and play with the things, get into the errors, try to solve it, take help of some experts or some senior or some your team members, and learn how to solve the problem, because using the service or using the tool is very much available on online platforms, but how you solve your use case is pretty much important. So by doing only, you will come to know that what your actual requirement is, and where you want to reach. So that gap would be only filled from hands-on learning itself. So one can do it on their own itself, just like playing with the console from GCP or whatever cloud it is. Otherwise, there are some popular products or companies as well which offer hands-on labs or kind of stuff, so they can purchase and practice it from there itself.
Okay, so actually, most of the students may think like when if I join a course in cloud or DevOps, so I can start my career. So most of the people are thinking like I just want to join the course and then someone will teach me on the concepts and all the technologies infrastructure. After that, I will learn. So what is the learning? That is where it was lacking, I think. So as you told, by watching the videos or watching to all these guides, that is not going to help us to pursue a great career in cloud. So hands-on learnings is actually great, and it's a good tip also. And why did you choose actually getting certified in GCP instead of AWS, Azure? So is there any particular reason?
Well, I've been working with, I think, almost all of three major clouds, but I am currently into a project where I'm implementing my GCP skills. So having the certification would be backing up my skills in front of my team members as well, and in front of the clients as well. So on the other hand, they will get the assurity that this person has valid credentials, and I will also get self confidence that yes, I know, and that's the reason why I've got this certification badge. So this was the primary reason, and I think it is a foundation for me to learn more and acclaim more certifications present. So GCP currently, as I'm working, it was my goal to pursue it, but I'm moving to other clouds as well for certification.
Okay. So like, what are your biggest learnings actually from the past? So when you started a career in cloud without a certification, and now you have been certified, right? So you might have some learnings from there. So how it looks like?
Learning is just solving real-time production grade issues when your servers, or I basically come from uh, core computer science background, so wherein the major portion is from programming or development side. So the curriculum doesn't cover much about cloud, but uh, when you get encounter the real-time applications or real-time errors when your servers are down and your customers are not receiving the traffic, that particular moment, whatever actions you take are your learnings. And for me, I think it was the same. Back in my internship time, I was deploying some applications on OpenShift container platform on Red Hat, and the servers kept on getting down, and due to multiple reasons. So I rectified it. I took help of some of my superiors, and we went through solving that error. So I think the learning in cloud or in general is just solving the real time problem, and that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, great. So and also I just want to check like when I see your profile in LinkedIn, and also you are a DevOps engineer. So I mean, can you describe the difference between the cloud and a DevOps engineer?
The industry is moving very fast, and people tend to give some fancy names to job titles, and people tend to confuse as well. But I think, with the best of my knowledge, cloud engineer, or a role of cloud engineer, is to design the solutions on top of cloud, whichever cloud provider, based on the requirement of customer. So, a cost effective or secured or better performance kind of solution can be designed by a cloud engineer. It's a basic on paper kind of description. And I think the DevOps engineer's major role is to simplify the software development lifecycle. And main approach nowadays in DevOps is to automate everything so that we don't tend to do the repetitive tasks again and again. So I think, with the best of my knowledge, this is the core difference of these. But everything is moving on the cloud, and there is very fine difference between all of the fields, and it's nearly the same in working.
That's cool. Like, I have one more question. Like, I thought like the many programmers and developers also right now shifting to cloud, right? So, is there any programming skill mandatory? Like, I hear from some of the blogs, it was saying Linux you should learn before trying any kind of these kind of cloud networking related technologies. So, is that mandatory to learn Linux or any other scripting languages?
I would personally suggest to go through learning curve for Linux. It would be compulsory, if am not wrong, because whatever workloads we are deploying, at the end of the day, they are somewhere directly or indirectly on operating system. And if you can't administer, you can't actually become the admin of a system, it won't be for you to grow in your career. We may know some of these services, but when it comes to the production grade use cases, when we go to the root level of the errors or whatever the problems we face, we may encounter some of the core fundamentals, which are operating system or Linux or networking. So it's prerequisite to enter the cloud domain, and people tend to nowadays skip and they just reach to the most popular tool, and it takes very less time for them to realize, and they come back to Linux and they learn and they do the other part. So Linux is pretty much compulsory, and I think programming language would, it's like an exercise for your brain. If even if you don't use directly or indirectly, it will just tune yourself into a direction where you can solve the problem. So yeah, programming is also important irrespective of whatever language one prefer, but yeah, it's quite important.
So when you start to cloud, okay, then if you, even if you don't have programming language, fine. But once you enter into that market, like enter into that technology, you should learn to solve the real-time problem, as you told, like programming and scripting for customized requirement of the client. I think the scripting is very important, and it will solve a lot of complex problem irrespective of any kind of available services. So that is
Oh.
really a great insight. And okay, what is the next, like your future roadmap in 2023?
Roadmap, I think I would deep dive into containers more, and I'm looking forward to explore some of the open source tool, and I think I'm looking forward to contribute as well, because currently my foundations are pretty clear. I have been working on multiple projects, so I think it's high time to share my learnings and contribute to some of the projects. But yeah, let's see how it goes. But for this year, I think I'm planning to go deep dive into container ecosystem and learn more things basically.
So thank you, Poojan. Like, this is a very interesting insight that you have shared in the middle of your busy Thursday today. So it was like, interacting with the real people will give us great confidence to start the career in cloud. So right now we are seeing many videos, many people there are instructors around, but still people like, you who work directly on projects. So it will be great when you motivate many young people like who want to start their career in cloud. So it is a
Yeah,
great motivation when people see these kind of videos. Yeah. Thank you, Poojan. Thanks for connecting, and keep
thank
sharing
you.
your learning as well. So you are always
Sure, sure.
welcome. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for having me this and helping me document my opinions as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Poojan.